guys, today we're going to take care of the exhaust system. We're going to do the downpipe, we're going to modify the downpipe, and we're going to do the exhaust system to the catback. So this will be over a number of days, so if you see me change clothes, you know why. But I'm going to tackle the downpipe first. I'm going to modify the one I've got rather than completely redo it. I just don't have the time to completely redo it. My mapping session's booked for next week and I just need to get it done. So I'm going to modify the one I've got, make it a little bit better, and then probably redo it at some other point down the line if I need to. So while the car's still in bits with the manifold away getting machined, I thought I'll stick the old manifold on there just for mock-up purposes, so then I can put the turbo on and I can mock up the downpipe and getting cracked on with that. So this episode will be just the exhaust system, but I'm doing it sort of the same time as the gearbox issue and that. So if you see a little bit jumping in the videos, then you know why. Please drop me a subscribe and hit that notification bell. It really helps the channel to grow, and it's free, so why wouldn't you? And you can stay up to date with all my good content. So for anyone that's new to the channel, this is my Golf R32 Turbo Mark 5. It started its life out as a R32 3.2 24 valve VR6 engine from the Mark 5 Golf variant. I've whacked a great big turbo on there. I've done some more modifications to support that turbo, and currently we're running around 410 brake horsepower and around 450 foot-pounds of torque. So the plan is to do a few little bit more modifications, primarily to the exhaust system, so that we can get the sort of 480, 500 horsepower that I'm looking for. So stay tuned, guys. And if you missed any of the videos before, any of the build videos, everything's been documented about this build on the other videos. So go back and check those if you want to see any more detail. And in the description for the first turbo build video, there is a link in there for a parts list for everything that I've bought for the car up until it got mapped, probably in episode 10 or 11-ish. So if you want to know any of the parts I've got, it's probably on the spreadsheet. Go back to video 1 of the turbo build series and you'll see it in the description. It's a link to a spreadsheet. So the plan with the downpipe is, so the biggest problem with the downpipe is probably the wastegate entry point. I think it's too close to where the exhaust is exiting from the turbo, so the flow is probably being interrupted, and I didn't use a proper bellow, so I think this is probably not suitable either. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off here, so this section here, and I'm going to have the wastegate coming in sort of around this area, so that it's kind of coming down into here, and then I'm going to chop here to fit in a flexi as well, because I want a flexi in here just to sort of give a bit more flexibility to the exhaust. So essentially chop there, have a wastegate input sort of here area, and then have a flexi in the middle there, and then wrap it again, and then that's the downpipe done. So let's get cracking. So here's the downpipe all in its glory. It's done all right. It's a bit rusty, I suppose, but she's sort of still alive. So the flexi is going to go here. It's just a little flexi, but it'll do the job. I've got another flexi a bit further down in the system. So we're going to chop that there and there, and that's where the flexi is going to go. Light tacks on there, stop it from going anywhere, and then that's it. So that's that bit just tacked up. So we can start building this up now. So I managed to get the elbow in there. For some reason the camera wasn't recording. So just now need to sort of position it where I need it to go, and then just build from there really. I'm going to put the manifold on in a second with the turbo, so that's in place, and then yeah, just sort of like add pie cuts until it fits really. Let's do that. Okay guys, so what I've done here is I've tacked these 3 bits here. Well, that bit's obviously fully welded because that was my testing, my welding settings. But I've tacked these 2 together, and then I've just taped these up with some PET tape. It's like high temperature tape. I think they use it for electrical stuff. It's called PET tape, PET. And I've just selotaped it up to make sort of a similar shape to the original one. Obviously this one's going to be a little bit shorter, so we'll see how it goes. If I need to elongate it a little bit, I do have some other pie cuts here that aren't sort of as deep, so we could extend it this way a little bit if we need to. So I'm going to go to the car. I'm going to see whether this fits, because you know, I might hit the turbo here, turbo housing, so we'll see if it fits, and then if we need to add some more of the other pie cuts, then we will. Obviously they're just taped on for now. So what it's looking like is that the downpipe this side needs to probably come forward a little bit, so that we can sort of bring the manifold sort of like at the moment it's sort of sitting like this, whereas we want it probably sitting a little bit more like that. So we bring the manifold forward and we should be able to then get a bit more clearance against the firewall, etc., and the steering rack. So I'm going to try and do that. So here we go. I have taken out one of these larger chunks here and added 2 smaller ones in. So that should have given us probably another centimetre or so length between these 2 bits here. So we'll have a look, see whether that's enough or we need to add a little bit more. So I think that's probably thereabouts. There you go. So I've replaced one of the bigger ones on the end for a smaller one, and then I got another small one here that I can hopefully sort of manipulate around to fit the downpipe. So have another go. Right, basically this is kind of the shape that I want. I'm not going to tack the last one on, but I'm just going to go ahead and just tack these all together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the rest of the downpipe out of the car, and then I'm going to straighten up the downpipe because the downpipe is not quite a bend. So I'm going to straighten that up so it does come to a full 90, a flat 90, and I might just be able to get away with basically get away with not having that one on there and just having the bend like that. So that's the plan. I'm going to get the downpipe off the car. I'm going to straighten it up and then tack all these together, and then should be good to go from there. and then I'll get the downpipe off the car, the rest of it, and what I'll do is I'll straighten it out because it kind of comes from an odd bend here. So we see how the difference on here. So you see the difference here where we've got a sort of flat surface, and then that's not so flat, that's kind of at an angle, whereas on this one it's a flat surface to a flat surface. So just need to square up the downpipe and then it should be good to go. So I got the rest of the downpipe off the car, and I've got one of these sort of stainless tight 90 bends that I'm basically going to replace this with, so that when it's at the end of the car it sort of sits flush. See how the original isn't quite a full 90, so if I get this one on there, hopefully the downpipe should then sit flush on it, sort of something like that. That's the plan anyway. So I'm going to cut this off here so we can pull it out of the flex, and then try and see if we can get that in the flex or not, to try and replace it. So this one does set up a little bit higher, so there's a good sort of ½ inch there. We need to try and make up if we can somehow. What I was going to do is just only slide it in there a little bit and then weld it, stuff like that. And there we have it. There's our U-bend on there. So there's our 90 degree fitted. It's definitely not the prettiest weld you're ever going to see on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, but I mean, I've got a nice little weld there, that's about it. The rest is pretty janky, but hopefully with all these welds here to do, I'll get better. That's the plan anyway.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way.
So what I'm doing here, guys, is I basically needed a little bit more length on the 90 bend. So all I'm doing here is I'm fitting a V band so that I can, one, so I get the length that I need, and also so that I can take the downpipe off without having to pretty much remove the turbo, which I had to do before. So this will enable me just to take the downpipe off, not have to take the rest of the exhaust or the turbo off, and also give me the length that I need to run that downpipe up in towards the engine bay a little bit further.
I never answer to no, man, I still go, 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 go.
So here is the potential mock-up for the downpipe. So we're going to test it if it fits, but I'm not hopeful because it's the first attempt, so I may need to jigger it around a little bit, but let's see if this works. As suspected, it doesn't quite fit, so it looks like we need to rotate it, cut it, obviously get rid of the welds here, the tacks, and just rotate it slightly so that it kind of pulls it around. But yeah, it's close, it just needs to be sort of swiveled around a little bit.
Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past, start a pain, and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explode.
And there you go, there's the downpipe done, fitted. It's a little close to the aircon lines, but kind of what only play out room I had because otherwise this bit here kind of hits the turbo, but I've got good finger gap in there now, probably about ½ an inch, and a gap between here. So this is all going to be heat wrapped with obviously wrap, whatever they call it, and then there's plenty of space down there to get through the pop shaft. So that's what it looks like. It's all fitted. I'm pretty happy with it now. So the next thing to do is get the other manifold on, not the cracked one. I just got that back, and then get the wastegate on, and then figure out where I'm going to put the wastegate into. Initially I was thinking sort of down here, but there's literally no room at all. So I think what I might do is see whether I can bring it down here and maybe into this section of the exhaust here. Yeah, that's probably what I might do. And that's going to be fiddly again, just like this is, so more fun ahead. Guys, I really hate making exhaust. I don't know if I've mentioned that a few times or not, but I really do. So guys, I got my manifold back from the machine shop. As you can see, the face has been skimmed. It's sort of dead straight now. It was like a banana before. The guy said it was really out, so that's going to make a world of difference. Hopefully I won't have to do that again. And he's polished out this hole here to match the 38mm hole that's coming through here. Well, whatever, we'll see what the hole is, because I've got a gauge and we'll have a look. Originally, when I first got this, I measured this hole. It was 29mm. So it's obviously meant to fit a 38mm wastegate. So this is a 38mm wastegate adapter. So let's see how big the hole is now. So basically it's flush with this now, so whatever hole size this is now going to be the size. So it's got 34mm, so it's opened up 5mm. So that hopefully should flow a lot more air, and he's ported it as well, so it's lovely and smooth in there. So fingers crossed that should keep the flow through the wastegate a lot easier, and sort of stop the manifold from getting too hot. Because I think what was happening is it couldn't flow when it's obviously in full boost. It's trying to flow out of here, and it just couldn't get enough air out. So now it's been ported and sort of semi-polished, should be a lot easier to breathe. And we've got a nice flat surface here for the gaskets to seal. So we've got some brand new gaskets to go on as well. Always use brand new ones, guys, because they just don't seal otherwise. So one for the turbo, and one for the two for the manifold to the head. Jesus. So just gonna do these bolts up now. There's no point recording it. So it's the next morning, guys. I ran out of battery on my phone while I was recording, but this is what we made from the downpipe, and it fits. So we just need to now weld it all up, and I've done the and I've done the wastegate pipe as well. So just need to weld them up, and then that bit's done. Right, so here's the finish article. The welder's not great, guys. I'm not a welder, but it should work. And here's the dump pipe for the wastegate. Goes on there like that, just like so. So we're going to wrap these two now. We're going to wrap them in into just some exhaust wrap. This is the DEI titanium wrap. So I'm going to start off with the dump tube, because it's smaller diameter. It gets hot very quick. So it's really good to have this protected. So I don't have that much here, so hopefully I can get this tube and most of this done with what I've got. So I've got some heavy duty metal zip ties here to hold the stuff down. So I'm just gonna fold the end there, and I'm gonna start around here. And then I'm gonna really tightly, I've soaked this by the way in water to make it more malleable, really tightly wrap it around, just slightly overlapping what you've done. So I'm gonna start there. Actually what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to start this further over. And we can just tighten these zip ties up, and then that's it, job done. And that is DEI's titanium wrap. So there you go guys, got the downpipe in and the wastegate dump. So there you go, it's all in there now, it's all on. So hopefully it should start up without any leaks, and then we're good to go. Okay. Sounds nice and smooth. See if I can feel for any leaks, any hot air. Can't hear any. Sounds good to me. Yeah, sounds really good to me. So I'm just doing the exhaust at the moment. So I've cut the midsection here to go into my resonator. So that's a resonator there, and then directly on the end of the resonator is the largest back box you can get. I think it's 18" by 9. It's a fairly substantial back box, well, mid silencer, and then I'm just going to continue building the rest of the pieces out to the tailpipe. I really hate doing exhaust. Anything exhaust related, I really hate it. Way overdue, and it's taking me way too long, and I'm not enjoying it. So I hope you guys are. I wish I could get more footage. If I had a ramp, it'd be so much easier to get more footage, but I just don't. I'm on the driveway, obviously. So I try it as much as I can, and hope you enjoy it. So I actually had this piece made for me from a guy on eBay. Told him what I wanted, specifications, and he made it up and sent it out within about a week. It cost me around £50, which I thought was an absolute bargain. And it should be all the right dimensions. It should be all the right dimensions to fit in here. So it sort of seems to fit in okay. And then I'll get some tips to go on the end. But that'll save me a job having to split this out. And there's the exhaust, guys. The welding is shocking, so don't judge it. That's the end that attaches to the downpipe, and then we come to quite a large sort of silencer. Before that, so we're coming from the turbo downpipe to quite a long resonator, not very thick, but a long one, 4-inch thick that is, to a large silencer, and then straight out to a V-band, and then the tailpipe is, you can see on the car there, attached to the V-band. So that's it done. I know I haven't recorded a lot of this exhaust system. Well, I haven't recorded anything really. I just really hate doing the welding and exhaust work, so apologies for that, but this is what it looks like. I've got a couple of hangers here and here, and then some for the tailpipe. I'm going to whack this on now, and hopefully no leaks. Got those tiny little pipes. That's the whole exhaust system done, all buttoned up. I will be having 4-inch tips put on here for, you know, the slash cut like the sort of Miltech ones. But for now, we're going to give it a first start. I haven't heard it either, so we're going to hear it together. Ready? That sounds like a deeper tone. Well guys, that was a lot deeper than I thought it was going to come out. Not raspy at all, quite a deep tone. So I hope you like it, and I'll just drop some sound clips here so you guys can see a little bit more of it revved up, etc. I hope you like it, and I hope you'll enjoy this episode. And what do you want to say?
Please subscribe to my daddy's channel.
Hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Excuse the dirty face, guys. I haven't been in to wash yet. Went straight out and tested the car. So let me know what you think about the sound in the comments, guys. It's quite a deep, rich tone. There's no raspiness, which I actually quite like raspiness. So I'm pretty disappointed that there's no rasp. It sounds lovely still, but just needed that. I just love that bit of rasp that we got from the Miltech prior to it being turboed. But let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think, and whether you like it. You know, don't get hung up on the little tiny holes at the end. They are 2.5-inch holes, so that's not being restrictive at all. And I will get some nice tips for it, but the ones I wanted were out of stock from Profusion, so I'm going to wait for them to come in stock so then I can put them on. Now I have to go for those ones because the ones on eBay are 2.25-inch to 4-inch, whereas I've opted to go with a bigger back box, so I need a 2.5-inch to a 4-inch, which the ones on eBay just don't do. They're always 2.5-inch to 4-inch. So let me know in comments, guys, what you think. I enjoyed making the episode. I didn't enjoy actually doing the work. I don't like welding. I'm not very good at welding at all, and I hate exhaust work. It's really hard recording this sort of stuff as well, and you know, I don't have a cameraman following me around and, you know, recording the bits that I'm doing. But maybe one day in the future, if everyone subscribes and watches my channel, then I'll probably be able to afford to get a cameraman in the future. So hit that subscribe button, guys. It's free, why wouldn't you? And you'll stay up to date with all the content that'll be dropping regularly. So, and on that note, guys, I will catch you in the next one.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and